Hello, guys, and this is Mello, and today we have a special podcast with my friend Blair.
Hey everybody, real pleasure to be back.
How's it been, Blair? How's it been?
Good, just being an essential worker out there.
Are you getting paid more by any chance?
Uh, I mean, I guess you can say that.
Dude, sadly, my company's not offering extra pay. I feel like that should be illegal, but it's Texas, and our workers' law here is really shite, if you know what I mean.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
but today we do have a special topic that we wish to speak upon, and it's actually between uh, our recent drama that's been going around with our so-called Ethan buddy here and Killer Keemstar himself. Sadly, we don't have him here.
Connecting star.
We don't have him here, sadly, but we are here to talk and express our opinions towards one another and kind of dissect this topic as much as we can. No 100%, we can't promise that, but we're going to try to focus on some good topics here. What do you think, Blair?
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to stay very in the middle, not really take a side, because these two topics that we're gonna talk about are very popular, like you said earlier. They're like literally fresh out of the oven.
A
And again,
little,
we just don't want to take a stance on either side. We just want to be in the middle, unbiased.
yes, sir, and a little spicy too. That's why we put a fireplace in front of you. So, where do we start? That's the thing. Um, I guess we can start um, about Ethan's video. He did bring out some good points. I think I think differently from what other people think. Sadly, it is what it is. But what do you think about? First off, let's start with the old man that was kind of. I sent you a video earlier today about the old man. He was very thankful. He was very grateful for Ethan expressing his opinions about what Keemstar did to the old man, calling him a pedophile. And this is a very serious topic, and like just that one word can cancel us and can cancel any male in existence. What do you think about that, Blair?
Yeah, because I mean, trying to be very unbiased, but Keemstar has a very bad way, I guess, of dealing with consequences. Like he says things, but he doesn't realize that everything that he says, has a consequence behind it. So he's just kind of like throwing shade at people and, throwing them under the bus so he can get a good story. But like you said, while he's doing that, there's a ton of people that are very defenseless, I guess. And when you kind of throw a word out there like the P word, it can literally like just halt your life, because that's what you're going to be known as.
And that can literally ruin your life. And that's a very serious topic. This is why we said this is spicy, because it's not a lot of YouTubers speak about it, and we're most likely going to get demonetized just talking about this subject. But man, I felt very bad about the old man himself. Kind of made me. I felt sad when Ethan was talking about that situation that Keemstar did, calling him a, you know, Pedro. Oh, we can't associate that word with that name, but you know what I mean.
Pedro.
Anyways, um, I feel bad, but in in the sense of all of this, it did end it with a happy ending. And on top of that, the old man, he was very grateful for Ethan's video, his recent video. And um, I feel like a lot of people will turn a new leaf and hopefully people apologize to him for, just m- making him feel bad in the internet. So good things that came with that side of the story, which is good. But that's not a good situation to be, because anybody out there can falsely accuse of me, being one, or Blare being one, even you being one, you the viewer, and it's not fun because it can really ruin, uh, a man's reputation.
Yeah, because it's like a title that you can't get rid of. You're gonna have people accusing you until they're proven otherwise, and there's a very big problem with mentality at the moment, where if you rile enough people and you kind of express your opinion, they'll follow it blindly without even doing the research for themselves, just because they like the person or the host, or whoever brought up the topic in the first place. And it's really scary just how easy it is to get a group of people, because you have that much influence, and just letting them loose on someone. For example, the old guy that was just minding his own business, playing the game.
Like, I understand, you know, for Keem himself, it's all about the drama. It's all about the money, of course. And it's really sad and really pathetic, in my opinion, to think that way. And it's funny because before I got home today, I was like, hmm, if Keem himself wasn't the main attraction for his show, and was most, and my thought and idea was, what if Keem was like TMZ? You know, uh, no, there's no face involved. It's just TMZ themselves just talking about drama. You know how I it's a very interesting idea, in my opinion. I don't know why I thought about it, but it just came randomly to my mind. But it just makes me wonder how different it would be if Keemstar himself wasn't the star or the co-host of that show, and it was just some random monkeys, just you know, running the drama. I mean, how different would it be? You know what I mean, Blair?
Yeah, I honestly think that the fact that he kind of presents himself as the personality behind the show, he does get more, flack for it. Like when they screwed up on the story about the old guy, the guy that gave them the story, he didn't get any hate. Keemstar was the one that got it. So I
Yes.
think if he was more of a faceless corporation, like your friends at Watch Mojo, they wouldn't be. You wouldn't really be able to, hate the guy. You would just hate the channel in general.
Excuse my simping on this, but the watch Mojo girl, she's really pretty. I don't know if you have ever seen her. She's really nice.
I haven't really seen their videos in a while, so I didn't even know that they actually got a host.
Actually, under their YouTube, you know how like YouTube has the Snapchat function, where like YouTubers like leave a video or like a little post on your YouTube app.
Right.
They do that. The Watch Mojo crew. They just do updates like that, and I've seen her from time to time. But anyways, we're getting off track.
Yeah, man.
But going back to Keem, I mean that's the face of Keemstar. Drama Nation, Drama Alert, whatever he calls his show, Drama Alert, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Um, but
One
yeah,
thing
what's up?
one thing that surprises me is that I guess it's funny to kind of clown on him because he doesn't seem that educated, and he has had like the same intro for like what, 4 years already? Like around 2016 he had the same intro, same catchphrase and everything.
We
And
should.
he just doesn't like change or anything. which I guess is one thing that makes me not, be appealed to watch him because he's just so simple. He's very straightforward, and I guess to me that's not really that attractive because it's just a very simplistic format.
True, true. Man,
I
here
mean, by any chance, how did you kind of come across Keemstar?
he just popped out on that. I didn't hear about Keemstar, honestly. Uh, during after watching the content comp episode on iDubbbz on Keems on not on Keemstar but on Leafy, because
Right.
apparently Leafy and Keemstar used to be quote unquote best friends back in the day, and
Hmm.
that's when I started getting interested on who Keemstar was, and that's how I started like associating myself listening to this guy ranting about things or just drama based on the guy. So I guess that's what made him popular, the drama itself that he gets into. But
Right.
I mean, here's the question of truth: Does he boil your blood?
Um, Personally, I don't like the guy. I wouldn't want any harm done to him, but he's just very irresponsible. He has influence, and I know for a fact from certain videos wherever he had like a little meetup, a majority of his audience were little kids. So they're very impressionable. And the fact that he's very vulgar, vocal, and he's just very mean spirited isn't a good look,
But
especially around kids. So
but
I personally do not like him or what he does.
but Blair, why do kids watch his content? That's a thing. Shouldn't we be blaming the parents on this?
I mean, I 100% admit that the parents are at fault for not, monitoring what their kids are watching. But, if I can be very bold, I guess I would blame it more on your aunt, the Susan Wojcinski person, because they
Wachinski. Wojcinski.
Wojcinski,
She has a
because
weird last name.
that's really weird. But she for sure promotes there's actually like evidence that they promote videos with bad content and they take their time, especially if a video is very popular, because they're making revenue off of it. So
That is true. They did fix it, but I feel like it exists in some way or form somewhere within the depths of like YouTube. I feel like there's something like that still exists, and I know it's conspiracy time here now, but honestly, I feel like um, I feel like Ethan deserves a lot of heat too, don't you think?
yeah, I mean, personally, I used to be a really big fan of him back when he used to make those videos. And whenever he had someone like make a guest appearance like John Tron or Filthy Frank, I was so happy. I was like ecstatic. Like I would see that, I would like rub my hands together, have my like dinosaur chicken nuggets like in the microwave, and then I would watch the video gladly. But then like along the way, it seems that he just had like a really big ego boost, and I kind of dropped off. But yeah, he definitely deserves like some, not necessarily hate, but some closer inspection like to what he's doing and what his motivation really is.
See, here's the thing about H3H3, and the thing that makes me think: Are people mad because he went from doing creative skits or or helping out people to actual podcasts, or is that what people are mainly mad about, or are people like really mad about the way he is? Because there's so many factors into this about Ethan himself. I don't put anything on Hela. She seems like she does not have nothing or anything to do with all of this. I mean, she's focusing with her child and, you know, her business. And, you know, I feel like all the blame goes to Ethan. But
Yeah,
no one
I
speaks
mean,
of Hilla. So,
I mean, honestly, there have been videos where they show that even though Ethan has the money to hire like an editor and, help some guy get a job and help him kind of be more presentable, he still makes like a lot of mistakes. Like Ethan alone is very, I guess he's like on the same boat as Keemstar. Like they both have an idea of what they want to do, but they're not very bright on their own. And usually, whenever they do like an argument or try to take a stance, and they're very emotional, very, you know, just siding with their point of view, they can easily be like kind of toppled over, but they're very arrogant in a way. Like they don't like to be wrong. They like to keep their stance. They don't want to have their mind changed at all. They're not open to discussion. It's just their way.
their skin is too thin for one another.
I know, isn't that crazy? Like maybe because they grew up in a time where cell phones weren't really, you know, readily available. And me and you, like, we'll play something on Steam and we'll get called the N word, or we'll get death threats. And that's the norm, I guess, nowadays. But maybe that's why you have Ethan and Keemstar, where they can't take criticism. They just shut down. They don't want to deal with it. They just ignore it or block it or go away.
Now, one thing I've noticed is that Ethan does acknowledge himself a lot way better than Keemstar does. I don't know if you noticed that. Keemstar is very delusional. Like he's always in denial.
No, yeah, from the two, Ethan is a lot more,
I feel
I
like
guess, level-headed.
more level-headed. I think he does sympathize. I can't say that word. Sympathize.
Empathize.
Yes, sir. Sympathize. That's a weird word to say, but at least he sympathizes with his audience. He does acknowledge that he is shitty. He's. I've heard him say that, in the past before. But like when it comes to Keemstar, he never has any evidence. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't. He just wants to think he's always right. And that's one thing I have against Keemstar. That's the type of guy that he is. And I can't blame him for that. I don't know how he grew up. Maybe he grew up in a strict family. Who knows? But I feel like if Keemstar would express himself more to his audience, I think that would be like the first step of him becoming a better person, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know about you, Blair.
I don't really want to sound very, what do you call it? Really dark or whatever. But I believe that once you're past a certain point, like age-wise, you're gonna be like that for the rest of your life. I do believe people can change, but just the way that they're perceiving themselves, I don't think that's ever gonna change. Like Keemstar's never gonna have an epiphany and say, "Wow, I've been spreading misinformation. I've hurt so many people." He's never gonna have that realization.
That's an interesting take. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about Daniel Keem himself, which is his actual
Daniel.
name. Damn, Daniel. An outdated meme here. But look, um, what do you think? Is it really a persona, or do you think that's the way he actually is in real life?
I mean, it's hard to 100% say that it's a persona because he just seems very misinformed whenever he posts something like on Twitter. It's very emotional, very like you can tell that he's like heated. So I don't think it's a persona. I think he tries to play it off as it is, so that he kind of gets like some of the hate off of him, or that people don't criticize him as much. But I feel he's just not that bright of a guy. I think maybe he's having like a
Midlife
maybe he's
crisis.
past it. Yeah, like maybe he's not having it. He's been in it for a while, and maybe Drama Alert is the only way that kind of helps him cope with all that. Because I mean, he's almost going to be 40, right?
Well, I think he's already a 40-year-old man.
Ooh,
I believe so. Is he?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean,
I don't think
as
he's on his 40s. I think he's about to be 40s. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. But it doesn't hurt to check right now.
I
But
mean, honestly, as a 40-year-old man myself,
he's
I'm just gonna
38.
tell. Yeah, I'm gonna send a message to Keemstar saying that it doesn't get any easier,
It's not.
and that's from a 40-year-old man to him. I
It, it,
mean,
it
but
ain't easy being cheesy.
of course, 100%. But I mean, let's say all of a sudden Keemstar messaged you and he said, "Hey man, I really like your channel. Let's collab." What would you do? Like, I'm curious. With the
Well,
personality that he has and like the reputation, how would you respond to that if he asked you?
I already told him to go fuck himself. So, I
No
mean,
way. You did not. I do not believe
I
that.
did
When was this? That's
today, actually, because I felt bad about the old man. I don't. You just can't do that. And on top of that, be in denial and not take, action. He just didn't want nothing to do with the old man. He's like, it's not my fault people are calling you pedophile. I mean, I don't know. My blood was boiling at that time. So,
like you just had to release that and you were just typing into your keyboard. That's
well,
funny, man.
yeah, but, you know, he's used to it. I bet you he gets a lot of FUs on a daily basis. I'm not the only
I,
one.
I wouldn't doubt it if he has like some guy like sifting through the comments like a moderator. 'Cause I feel he's too lazy to even like go through 2 minutes worth of comments or something. Because he probably knows that he's very despised.
He does know. That's the thing about being egotistical. It's like you see everyone as your enemy. Sadly, that's the way it is. But um, there's that, and on top of that, we do want to actually talk about our new sponsor we got today.
Oh yeah, they recently offered us the sponsorship because they kind of they needed to sponsor someone because they had previously cut ties with a certain person.
Yeah, so we introduced G Fuel, which is some dank ass power drink. If you ever see that movie, Space Jam, with Michael Jordan in it, remember when Bugs Bunny like went to the water fountain and like put water inside a bottle and just call it like super beefed up water, technically steroids. So you drink that shit, your muscles actually grow twice as big, and you'll look like a total Chad with big ass muscles. So
Oh, dude, 100%. And it's such a functioning powder. Like you just put it in your water, like you said, drink it, and you have like 5 hours of energy.
and we got everybody's favorite flavor here, cum flavor, right, Blair?
I personally prefer the cotton candy flavor as their previous person was very fond of it. They had
Yeah.
it like on their desk for like 4 years. But
The
yeah,
coloring just it lost itself. The pink doesn't exist. It just turned white. So 4-year-old G Fuel guys, please buy them now.
yeah, they're guaranteed to make you not be a simp or a soy boy.
Just a Chad.
Yeah, no supreme gentleman here, just Chads.
Just chads and simps. But
Out of curiosity, like, would you say that you have? I know for sure you don't have that much respect for Keemstar. Like, who does? Probably like even his family's like disappointed in him. But do you have the same respect for Ethan, or would you say it's kind of like
see, the thing about
his old
Ethan, I know Ethan isn't perfect, and I know Keemstar isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. I mean, we've all done stupid shit in the past before, but you know, as much as I dislike Keemstar, I think it's totally fine. I think there's some points to be made why I dislike Keemstar, and compared to Ethan, he's always that lovable guy to me. Even though he's egotistical, he can be a dick to the people he brings over, and he's all nice. And next day he be talking shit about them. I get it. I mean, I feel like it's more of a charade than anything. Something tells me it is just for the drama, just for the views and money. You sometimes gotta, you sometimes have to give up to get what you want.
So you're saying kind of like sell your soul, like sell a part of you?
Yes, and this could probably turn into a conspiracy. I guess a conspiracy theory if you want to, guys. But something tells me all of this is just a charade that he does, just to get views. I mean, not to sound mean or anything, but the man, he has he has good luck for a good reason that everyone should know. But um, anyways, um, yeah, I really don't. I don't hate the
You
guy.
don't see him any less or anything?
No, I mean he's still the same guy. He's just doing different things, and that's why I was asking you earlier. Are people really mad because of the way he is, or because he just became doing podcasts and stopped doing like the skits and all that he had in the past? And it just
So
makes
you
me
you
wonder.
think because he changed, people just want a reason to hate him, and they're just bandwagoning to hate him for that? I guess?
Ever since Gokunaru did that video,
Dude, I love that guy so much.
I love him too.
One.
Big shout outs to Gokunaru if he ever uh, watches this, which I doubt, but who knows? But um, I do, I do think, um, some ever since Gokunaru did that video, there was like a split. There was a split between the H3 community. It was either you either love Ethan or you hated Ethan, and I was more in the middle, but I was more leaning on still loving the guy. I know he fucked up, but that doesn't mean you gotta hate the guy. Now, you really can't compare Ethan's actions to Keemstar's actions too. I think Keemstar has done worse than Ethan too. You also gotta consider that too.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They're on completely different levels of I don't know what you can say.
I'd say it'd be more like haters hating on Ethan than anything else.
Right.
That's just my take. I mean, everybody has their own opinion on this, but I feel like people are mostly hating on the guy because of the way he is. And I get it, but I think it's more of a charade that he's doing and pulling off.
I mean, even though I don't really keep up with the guy, I don't really like him anymore. I do think it's kind of suspicious that he's like all of a sudden, turning into the same tactics that Keemstar did. Like he had that controversy with the big lady that looks like Honey Boo Boo, the Trisha person. And obviously that looks like it's pandering for like, oh hey, let's stir up some controversy. Let's
Now,
get some arguments going.
now here's the thing. I don't know. There's so many layers into all of this. That's the thing. Like, if we start dissecting Keemstar, we're gonna find. I feel like we're gonna find more like, more. I guess defects on Keemstar than on Ethan.
100%.
Oh,
No argument or anything.
and I know in the video, one thing I did notice. I don't know if you noticed it, but he did sponsor shamed Keemstar, and that made G Fuel go AWOL away from Keemstar himself. So, what do you
Yeah,
think of that?
I mean, no product wants to be associated with negativity, you know?
Do you think he deserved it?
Uh, I think it's a little harsh because if there's a few examples of people pointing out that if you kind of do that, sponsorships are going to start slowly pulling away because
Uh,
it seems at this point there's nothing but controversy, and
and
controversy isn't good for brands.
they call it the Apocalypse 3.0.
It just skipped the 2.0, went straight to 3.
I think the 2.0 was during that one ginger guy, the guy with the red hair, the one that
Oh, the guy that tried to shut down everything and Keemstar was like, he bodied him.
that guy. I forget his name.
I completely forgot about him. I guess Keemstar's good for something after all.
Yeah,
He just swept them under the rug.
and that was a good thing that happened because, I mean, if that kept going on, I think Apocalypse 2.0 would still be a thing today. So there's that. So we do thank him in some way, but
Ironically, like, he didn't do it for the greater good. He did it to protect like his own wallet. Because I'm sure like Keemstar cannot hold down a job. Like if YouTube fails for him, I'm pretty sure he's gonna like make an OnlyFans or something.
an OnlyFans where he can meet his fans and he can fly them on his helicopter. Now
Yeah, he
that's a
can
smart
get, like,
marketing ploy there.
get like 8-year-olds just flying with him.
Pay $50 a month and be raffled to a helicopter drive with yours fellow Killer Keemstar.
And that's with 3Ks, remember?
Would you fly with him? If Keemstar flew to your fucking house right now, and he's like, "Hey Blare, you're that guy that's talking shit about me," what do you do?
Uh Shoot, dude, I don't
Come
know
on,
what I
dude.
do. Like there would be millions of people that would want to take my position and probably do something to him. I'd probably tell him to stop hovering over my property, and I'd throw him like,
Throw,
I'm Irish, so I have like a sack of potatoes. I would just throw like a bunch of potatoes at him.
you throw a piece of gum at the helicopter chop, the little blades, and like the gum itself makes the thing stop spinning.
It just falls and it blows up my
Oh no! I can just someone animated that. Oh my god!
I don't know, man. I think it's a little too close to be talking about helicopter wrecks.
Yeah, too close.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Too soon. Too soon. Shame on me. Shame on me. Oh boy, but here's the thing though. Why do people like? I get it. People don't want Apocalypse 3.0. Okay, I get it. I
Yeah, because then
understand
they're
why.
not going to have any revenue, and there's going to be no reason for them to be,
They
on YouTube.
they call it the snowball effect.
Yeah, it's just going to spiral out of control and get worse and worse.
Yes, but here's the thing though. I mean, as much as I love YouTube, and I used to get paid on YouTube and make decent money back in the day,
Really?
it wasn't like $300, $400, $500. It was like decent enough to make $5. Especially at a young age, $5 to me was everything for me. Because I did start doing YouTube when I was about 15, but
Wow.
most of my videos are like not available because they're cringe.
Really?
They're very cringe.
What if you had like 500 subscribers? Can you release them?
Not 500. That's got to be at least 1 million for my cringe
No
videos.
way.
Yeah, I would not want to see myself having them public so people can watch them. But oh boy, but yeah, I mean, why be? I think YouTube's a dead cow. Honestly, I
Yeah,
don't
when
I don't
Susan became like
understand.
the face, it just
Yes,
became like the meme to, I guess, bag on them.
and not to be like not to be mean or anything, but I think she's doing a bad job on YouTube. Susan herself, I feel like YouTube itself has so much potential. That's why you see less creative videos nowadays. Cause we had remember. Do you remember Mystery Guitar Man?
Yeah, I have a faint recollection of him.
He made a commercial with Red and Link at one point. I don't know if you remembered, but
It seems familiar. Go on.
very familiar. But that's the thing. There's there's so much uh, creativity on YouTube back in 20 was it 2009 2008 2009. That's when it started picking up. You had Smosh, you had equals three, you had what was his name, Annoying Orange.
Oh man, I remember he had like the same teeth that our friend Minotaur has.
You laugh like
Yeah, he had a bunch of like really messed up teeth, man.
now back in the day, what YouTube money would do to the creator was to give them a good chunk of money for them to reinvest in buying props, you know, buying things, buying better equipment, making their videos more creative. And you don't see that a lot nowadays. And that's the thing. Why are people like so not wanting a Apocalypse 3.0? YouTube's already a dead cow. You're not you don't you gotta have a good portion of subscribers. I feel like once you hit 1 million, that's decent, but not decent enough compared to back in the day. Back in the day, you'd be making like $85,000 $95,000 a month, especially equals three. They were on that range because at that time it was Smosh and equals three trying to compete for number one at the time. So, because remember, Smosh was like number one at one point before equals three, I
I
believe.
do remember that.
Yes. So then equals three won the spot. Then PewDiePie won the spot. You know, eventually, or I don't know when PewDiePie got the most subscribers. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he did that, or he got that amount around 2010, 2011. Because that's when video games, like the category of video games was like barely like picking up or getting more popular at the time. But I just don't see why. Like I understand. I mean, do you think it's the lowest of the low though for sponsor shaming?
I mean, I get it. There's a ton of hate there, and he's directly trying to affect his income. I think that's a little cheap, I guess. That's really cheap.
But here's the thing: in Keemstar's defense, he said that he called G Fuel to unsponsor himself, so G Fuel themselves won't get any heat. Do you believe that?
I doubt it. I think they send them like some kind of we're sorry, but we're gonna have to discontinue. And I guess Keemstar being Keemstar and being not that bright probably took it upon himself to kind of say, well, I personally am the reason why they stopped sponsoring me. It wasn't because of, Ethan destroying me.
Why doesn't he just man up and say, yes, I lost the sponsorship due to Ethan? But that's the thing, we don't know that. Because then now Keem starts saying one thing, but obviously, I think it was more towards the video. I think the video gave it a better effect. Honestly, I think Ethan's video cost G Fuel to like unsponsored Keemstar himself.
Right. Because, again, no one wants bad publicity with their product.
But here's the thing: does Keemstar really cared about losing a sponsorship? I honestly think the guy does not give two fucks about losing a sponsorship. He seems like the type of guy who'd be investing, an entrepreneur, most likely. Guy knows how to write chops, fly them. But that's the thing. I feel like losing one sponsorship to him didn't really affect him. But he did lose a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was very surprising to me because for the longest time, he's kind of been growing and he's been doing a bunch of stupid stuff and no one has called him out on it. Or if they have, it hasn't been like on this level of publicity. And I guess it's now the time that he's getting, I guess put like in a little courtroom and they're kind of showing everything that he's done, how bad he kind of promotes YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Do you think he deserves the hate, in all honesty? Keemstar, that is.
I believe. Here's the thing. I commented. So some this is my belief, and this is what I told some ordinary gamer this morning. Because I had watched the video before anything, right?
Right.
And this morning, he had posted on Twitter saying going after a creator's sponsors is a terrible thing. It's an incredible low blow, and it tends to snowball into apocalypse that blow back onto you. Plus, it's pretty petty to do. Now, this is my belief. Keemstar, he likes to play dirty, right?
Yeah.
My belief is an eye for an eye. If you're going to play, if you're going to play dirty with the dirty, might as well do it in a dirty way. That's just me. I have more of a eye for an eye policy. And this is what I told him. If you're speaking about H3H3's video, I honestly don't care. The guy deserves it on top, and that he's a successful person. So one sponsor to him isn't anything. YouTube isn't that essential anymore. It really isn't essential. YouTube is not essential. It used to be, but not anymore. Okay?
Right.
I think apocalypse or not, YouTube is still fucked. So you got a lot of people saying, oh, there's going to be an apocalypse 3.0. And I'm like, yeah, but is it worth it? Honestly, that's how I see YouTube. And I hope YouTube gets their shit together as soon as possible. It might be 3 years from now. It might be 5 years from now. Hell, it might even be 10 years from now. Either YouTube gets better or YouTube gets worse. So depending on the CEO, and if I were Google, because Google owns YouTube. So if I own Google, I probably would remove Suzanne and buy her out. And maybe get someone better, with better skills that's more up to date. in today's society, maybe. But let's not just not have like anything like the Twitch mod society. God no. But I'd rather have
Um,
someone else running YouTube. Hell, I'd be happy if they got your daddy Ray William Johnson as the CEO. That'd be
oh,
pretty dope.
dude.
Dude, if that ever happened, YouTube would be so much better. I'm telling you, that is fucking dope if that was ever a reality. And if you want to go through like the multiverse, theory here, some other timeline, there's a Ray William Johnson being the CEO of YouTube. It has to be. I don't know about you, Blair, but I think that that's a possibility if it's ever a reality in some other timeline.
I'm sure of it. I mean, I am pretty open-minded. I do believe that maybe there is like a, multiple reality kind of thing.
It really is. We really need to get that. What's his name? The astronomer, the black guy. Uh,
Neil deGrasse Tyson, something like that, I
yes,
think.
that guy. You got to get him over and just talk to him about astrology while we're smoking some dank ass screens, dude.
It'll
Uh,
be like when they had Elon Musk smoking on the meme review thing.
we're gonna have Joe Rogan next. Oh man. He left YouTube. I think today he's not YouTubing anymore.
Are you serious? Why
He
is that?
he got sponsored by Spotify, and I think he got bought out for like for like $1 million or something.
That seems kind of low,
I
especially
think
for
they gave
like,
him like 50 million, 100 million. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. Do they really give out? Oh, $100 million. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of
I
moolah.
mean, yeah, the dude can retire knowing that his family is set for like two, three generations. Wow.
Spotify pays 100 million for Joe Rogan podcast. Adds 1 billion to market cap. That's not bad. You know, good props to that guy. But as we love to get off topic here in this lovely podcast, who do you think will get canceled? Ethan or Keemstar himself? Who will get if you put them together? Like, who would get canceled first? Who do you think?
I honestly want to say neither of them because I mean, Keem's, there was a point where like, my dad, Leafy, Pyrocynical, and under grade A, under A were all like, they were like gang banging him, and Keemstar survived all that. He was like a little cockroach, like a nuke went off, everyone died, and Keemstar was still like alive. So unfortunately, I don't think anyone's gonna get canceled. Maybe they'll take like a big, critical hit or something, but I doubt that they're gonna get anyone canceled.
That's an interesting answer you gave me there. I thought you would give me an answer, but you know, it's a very interesting answer. And the reason is because honestly, if you're big on YouTube and you want to get canceled, it's going to be real tough for you to get canceled. Great example, Pro Jared. That guy lost so many subscribers, and I don't blame him, but I'm glad he showed receipts and he got his shit together. But he recently started. He's been doing videos. He got back doing YouTube videos. I don't know if you knew that, Blair.
Yeah, I genuinely like Pro Jared. Even during the whole controversy, I didn't really. I'm not gonna lie, I saw some of the memes and, laughed and chuckled here and there because they were like such crazy references. But I never hated the guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's crazy out there. It's like I feel like canceling people's a sport now, especially on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like when me and my cousin Skeeter would go to the golf course and they shoot those plates up and you gotta like shoot them. It's like that. It's like who's gonna be next, to get skeeted on.
Was he your cousin who got punched in the back and got skeeted on the back of his head?
Yeah, the funny thing is that my cousin Skeeter would always have like a 40 next to him, like in a little brown bag,
Yeah,
and he always had like a slice of watermelon not too far away.
that's a crazy cousin you got there.
Yeah, you got a lot of crazy cousins living in Carolina.
We gotta bring him next time and bring Minotaur with us. Just
Oh,
cringe
what a
it up
joy that
more.
would be.
Oh boy, but let's put the shits and giggles aside and start getting into a very serious topic here, Blair.
Okay.
I guess before we end this podcast, we've been doing it for 51 minutes, and we've been dissecting certain things between Keem and Ethan. But one thing that really gets under my skin is the fact that Ethan used Etika for 16 minutes straight as a point for Keemstar to attack Keemstar. And here's the thing, this is where it's going to get more controversial the more we speak about this. And I told you this earlier before we started the podcast, and I told you I believe Ethan has every right to bring anything up, even if it's someone who passed away, because you had Pyro Cynical, you had like all these other YouTubers talking about it too, and they were all like pointing like eyes at Keemstar. And you had all these all these YouTube channels. You had the Right Opinion talking about it. It was a very large it was a major topic for a lot of YouTubers to talk about during that time, and everybody kept looking at Keem. Here's the thing, though. I believe that Keem himself had a big role towards Etika's suicide, because here's the thing. I don't blame it all on Keem. I'm not going to be like Ethan. Ethan did not say that because of Keem, Etika died. All he said was that he just added more fuel to the fire with Etika. That's all he said. So there's no allegations on who killed who. But I remember during that time, Twitter, there was a lot of people trolling Etika too, and I feel like Keem himself really added that fuel there and just really created like a forest fire there between everyone, because that's the thing. I don't blame people for not believing Etika, because there was like so many points in his career where he would say that he would kill himself, but he never did it.
Right. So you're saying it was kind of the boy who cried wolf, where in the end everyone just took it as, oh, this has happened before. He's not gonna,
Yes, sir.
commit.
Yes, sir. Now, I understand. Trolls will be trolls. Trolls are everywhere. Trolls are on 4chan. They're on Reddit. They're on Facebook, Twitter. They're everywhere. Trolls are everywhere, even on YouTube. And I get it. They will always exist, but you know, I think if none of this existed, like if like the interview with Erika never ended, I feel like Erika would have not killed himself. I feel like it would have been less stressful for Erika because I think the tension got to him right after the podcast because people were just trolling him like shit. And I that really made me feel bad. And it's really like upsetting to for Keem to call Erika his friend if in reality they weren't really that close to each other. And that's the thing about Keem, that he has a past with a lot of friends, quote unquote friends, that he betrays or he gets betrayed by. So I feel like Keemstar did play a big role on Erika's death. But that's just my opinion, and that does not mean that, you guys have to believe me or not. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. But I'm just trying to be as honest as I can be. What do you think, Blair, of all this situation?
I mean, it's always easier to look back in hindsight and say, oh, this could have turned out differently because of this reason or this reason. But I do kind of side with the idea that if, Keemstar never, associated with Erika or even like talked to him, I feel maybe his condition wouldn't have, deteriorated as badly. Because like you said, he was getting a ton of really bad memes about just being a clown, that he was crazy, that he's doing this again, that it's all for the fame, that it's all for like attention. And I'm 100% sure that all your fans kind of sending you like these memes, it's like a betrayal because they're supposed to side with you and be there unconditionally. But I'm sure he had a ton of fans that were kind of sending him a bunch of like clown emojis and people weren't taking him serious. And maybe because of that reason, he just kind of, it's like how they say the straw that broke the camel's back. He just couldn't cope with it. And it certainly doesn't help that Keemstar ended up telling them, hey, there's no news going on. Go do something crazy. It was really a really bad tweet. And that's something that I'm going to hold to Keemstar. I do believe that he was particularly responsible for the death of Erika. He indirectly, I guess, lit the fire that just enveloped everything.
I get it. He runs a drama channel and he wants to make people laugh. That's his shtick there. And I get it. I understand it, but I mean, calling people who are bipolar, who are anxious, who are depressed, calling them weak is not the way to go. Even if Keemstar didn't like Erika, or even if Keemstar interviewed Erika, I think Keemstar would have taken it in a better route than making a joke out of it. Even if he faked it, and said, hey, Erika, and he starts talking about why he feels like that, and tries to maybe, console him in some way. I think that would have been the better route, and I think it would have been a good view for the audience that Keemstar isn't really a fucking dick. That's just my way if it became like a reality, and but sadly it's not a reality. It might be in some timeline, but not in this timeline. But I feel like things could have been better because it's not just Attica who Keemstar called weak. You have like I think it was FuzzyTube. Like Keemstar would like call him weak too and shit like that. Like people with just mental illnesses or like depression, like Keemstar like really like jokes about it because he has the belief that if you're depressed, you got to work on it and get better at it. And that's the thing about some people, and I've known people like that, and I get it, but not everyone's the same, dude. That's what you need to realize.
I mean, one thing that I really do dislike about, you know, Keemstar's mentality is that, like you said, if you have some kind of mental illness, he interprets it as, oh, well, hey, get rid of it. It's like he would he'd probably be the guy that would like go up to a homeless person starving and tell him like, why are you being so weak? Go get a job. Go buy a house. Go get something to eat. But he doesn't understand that, you know, it's not easy for some people to kind of pull themselves up. He's able to say that and make it seem like he can do it. Any situation that he's in, he can get out of it. But I mean, think about it. He's white, he's bald, he's like middle aged, he has money. He's not like very, you know, in a bad situation. Like he can help himself get out of anything because, you know, he's a man, he's wealthy, and he's not in shape, but you know, I'm sure he has like pretty decent health.
We should just do a social experience where we just like dress up as a different person and just call like Keem like a pedo bear.
Dude, I'm sure he would like turn all red and like block us, or he would threaten to get rid of our sponsor or something stupid like that.
He'll take away our G Fuel, but
I'll take it away.
but man, I mean, you know, this feels like a roller coaster of emotions. Honestly, this whole podcast, you go from one guy to another guy, and that's the thing. We're trying not to be as as we're not trying to choose sides here. We're trying to more like express what we think about it. Even if you think I'm lean over towards more Ethan or Blair leans towards more over, over to Keemstar, it's not about, who we like the most. This
It's
podcast,
just, I guess,
go
there's
ahead.
more to talk about because Keemstar has screwed up more than Ethan.
And that's the thing. I mean, like I say in every single podcast, it is what it is. Either things go well or either things go for the worst. And I hope things go for the better here. Drama will never end, sadly. There's so many people fucking up every day. It's ridiculous. I think what it is, Blair, is that there's so many YouTubers now that the drama just spreads everywhere. And it's like contagious. And it's contagious here too, obviously. But I mean, what can we say about this? I mean, what do you think of this whole situation? If you have any last words to say about this.
Um, they're both middle-aged men that I'm sure are having a degree of a midlife crisis, but I feel that their very existence at this point is just causing a bunch of drama and then profiteering from it. What
It's
about you? Do you have any closing thoughts or anything?
well, excuse me. Um, Let me drink some water. You gotta drink your water with your pinky up, like in SpongeBob.
Oh, you gotta be fancy.
Yeah, you gotta be fancy, especially in this podcast we got here. Um, well, here's the thing. I don't think both men will ever get canceled. Honestly, it's always gonna be the same shtick, new drama. Keemstar's gonna be the same guy as every day. If he ever does change for the better, I'll be happy to accept everything that he's done wrong. I mean, I believe in second chances. I believe anybody can change in time, and that's one belief I do have, that we are here to become better, and hopefully people, or hopefully someone out there does change Ethan's ways and like Keemstar's ways, because they're not perfect, but I feel like they should just make up and just just stop with the drama, because it's just not gonna get any better. I can tell you that. It's just gonna get worse. One has to fall eventually. So, but I feel like it'll never end, and there's like a lot of mixed feelings here. And I just wish for the best. Don't you think, Blair?
Yeah, I mean, that's all we really can wish for, just the best and a swift kind of resolution to this.
Oh man. Well, I do appreciate everyone. It's an hour and 7 minutes, and it does not feel like an hour, does it?
No, I mean, time flies when you have a reason to do something, I guess.
Oh man. And as always, Blair, you're always welcome to my podcast. You are a great friend here. And I love every single one of you guys out there. I do appreciate the amount of likes, and especially Blair. He appreciates you twice as much, probably, as me. But no, but we do appreciate both, all of you guys. And I want to say a big thank you on our last video. We got some good views, didn't we, Blair?
Oh, yeah, even to this day, I still look up the comment. Someone advertised our video on a, you know, I don't know if I can say it, but the famous hub with the orange square.
The really.
Yeah, someone like put a link to our video on there. So that was pretty spicy.
Do you think we got a lot of porn watchers on our last YouTube channel? YouTube video.
Maybe that orange boy. That boy ain't right.
I can't believe that. Dude, you gotta share me that link to that video.
Yeah, maybe you can put it as a ending thumbnail, like as the video ends, you can just flash the comment.
Yeah, and scream like Pokemon, and like just end a stream and just get canceled, get banned from YouTube.
I'm pretty sure you would get insta-banned.
Funny thing, Philip DeFranco did cover this story today earlier, about a couple of hours ago, and the video starts off of like the Pokemon scene where she like clicks on the link and like Hornhub. I don't think we can say that word. Hornhub
Yeah,
opens up and she screams. And instead of like Pornhub appearing, it's like a Philip DeFranco video that pops out and she starts to scream. I
What
left
would
my
you do if
ass
it
off.
was like a famous YouTuber that sends her the link?
Put J Station on it.
Yeah, probably J Station send it to her.
Hi, it's J Station. Ah!
Her scream is epic.
Thank you. But yeah, we got some great views, some great likes, one dislike, whatever. We also got hacked last video. Some username name music. So if you're out there watching my videos, you can eat my ass, and I
We're
will
gonna
report.
eat you up.
I will report you when I see you, and I'm not stupid when it comes to looking at thumbnails and videos. And it's so noticeable when people are trying to hack you now. Now that they announce some ordinary gamer, big shout out to he actually put up a video on like the Logan guy and
Yeah,
his other thumbnails and other YouTuber names. And one of the names that he mentioned, some ordinary gamer music was his name. So he does mention the guy that hacked me on that video. So that's pretty cool. He just got my Epic Games account. He unlinked every fucking console I had, and he linked his PlayStation Network into it. Good
oh,
thing.
that's disgusting.
Good thing I didn't have like any debit card info or any PayPal info. I doubt. I don't think. I guess PayPal could be hacked in some way, but that was the story, and they changed my username from Mellowest Gamer to BD for some,
BD.
yeah, just B and D and some hyphens. So
I
I
think he
don't
has like a big D, or he has like he has like low self-esteem towards himself, so he put that as his name.
probably, and he was Arabic too, so that's all I know about him. These hackers are from somewhere in Arabia, wherever that is. Um, somewhere out
Maybe
there.
one Arabian night we'll go looking for him.
Well,
We'll like
they
we'll
got my
like do the
number.
fuck on him.
Yes, they got my phone number.
That's horrible.
They got my phone number, and they're trying to get access on my Netflix. I don't fall for that. I know no one's hacking me, but I did the two authenticator thing with an app I downloaded, so that does help a bit. But yeah, so if any like that's one thing we do want to let you guys know as a disclaimer. If you see anybody down there asking to be your friend, do not comment, do not like, do not interact with it, because somehow by commenting them back or replying to them, they get access to your Gmail, and that's probably how they reset my password and all, because I had to reset it the first time I logged in on Epic Games. So that happens. So just be careful out there. Be safe. Be wary of the comments below. Or, they usually attack YouTube channels with small subscriber base like us, because we don't know any better, obviously. So before leaving, Blair, anything you want to say?
Just remember to shut up or nut up.
Like your daddy used to tell you?
Yeah, before he pieced.
Maybe next time I'll become a deer and start prancing about. And maybe you can give me some scritchies, okay?
Yeah, maybe you'll be the next B-star too while you're at it.
Most likely. Maybe one day. But anyways, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bust.